After selecting a venue, choosing a wedding gown, and picking the perfect bouquet, Mwanisha called everything off only 3 days before she and Mathew were set to say I do. Now, everyone wants to know why.
We were engaged to be married, and I lately found out that he was also engaged to another woman as well.
I was planning on telling her, I was trying to get her, in the right moment to tell her.
I gave him all of my time, and with this man, he was never there.
Mwanisha is seeking a dissolution of cohabitation from Mathew today on Divorce Court.
All rise. Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Lynn Toller presiding. You may be seated.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here today with Mwanisha Reynolds and Mathew Hedrington. Yes. The two of you, interestingly enough, were scheduled to be married this Friday. You have been together for 4 years, is it? Engaged for the last 2. We're supposed to get married on Friday. Now Ms. Reynolds is seeking to end your cohabitation situation, and obviously you're not looking to go ahead with the wedding. We will talk about that momentarily. You also have some financial issues you would like me to resolve as you exit. And interestingly enough, Mr. Hedrington, I don't think you think it's over.
No.
And the reason you don't think it's over is you went on our website and you downloaded the compatibility test.
Yes.
To take, and I think you were trying to help see where the problems were and try to get
things worked out. Yeah.
So I think that was very interesting. You're the first guy that I've ever seen first of anybody I've ever seen do that. So we gave you the compatibility test. I looked at it, and we'll talk about it later. But before we do, Ms. Reynolds, I'm going to start with you. Why don't you tell me about this relationship and why are you ending it 3 days before you're supposed to get married?
Well, yeah, and I'm fed up. I'm really and truly just tired of it. We've been together for 4 years, and it's the constant battle with him lying, him cheating. He has a sex addiction, and I feel unloved. And
well, tell me about some of the times he cheated. My son,
we have a son together, which is 1 year of age, and he was playing with some important papers that Mathew had in a pillowcase, and he had papers strode everywhere. Well, as I'm picking these papers up, I knew about the first marriage, but the papers that I picked up was a set of papers of a divorce to another lady that I knew nothing about.
Is that true, Mr. Hedrington?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Okay. Now, did you just forget about the second wedding, or was it something you were planning on telling her?
I was planning on telling her. I was trying to get her, in the right moment to tell her, because she kind of evil,
She's evil.
Yeah.
Now I know you mean it in the mean way, not evil,
right.
But explain that to me. What does she do that frightens you?
Well, this how her mouth. Really, her mouth is real big, and she go right at it.
When it comes to him, yeah, I am.
Are you rapid
really
fired like a Gatling gun? You just on it.
Yeah, I really am. I mean, because I'm at the point where I'm furious.
Okay. Well, tell me some other instances where he's either cheated or lied to you.
We were engaged to be married, and while we're engaged, and I'm carrying his son.
Right.
I lately found out that he was also engaged to another woman as well, while being engaged to me, and I'm carrying our child.
Mr. Hedrington, tell me she got that wrong.
Kind of, sort of, but.
How do you kind of, sort of get that one wrong?
Well, it's the engagement. Well, this lady, she said, hey, let's go get married. I said, no, I don't get married to you, because I was already engaged with her. So she was trying to,
Now, clearly, random woman just didn't walk up to you on the street and say, hey, let's get married. You were in a relationship with another woman while you were in a relationship with Ms. Reynolds, correct?
Correct.
And both of the women believed that they were exclusive. You were exclusive to them.
Yes, Your Honor. You got always being a player.
And the other woman believed that you were so tight that marriage was indeed a possibility.
Right.
So you were seriously misleading both of these ladies at the same time.
Yeah, but then she got pregnant, then I like feel bad. Not feel bad, but I'm not saying
I'm gonna
feel
let
bad.
you start that one again, because that one was, that was all wrong.
I didn't feel bad. I just like felt kind of like I need to be a man about it just to.
So that made your choice for you, as you're saying? If she had not gotten pregnant, would you have picked the other one?
Nah, no.
If she had not gotten pregnant, would you have?
She is a good woman. She, you know, there's only the one thing is her attitude. You know, her attitude.
Okay.
Is really bad.
Do you understand how a woman might be a little peeved if she's engaged to you, pregnant with your baby, and finds out that you have another woman in a serious relationship? You can understand how that might make them a little angry.
Right.
When Divorce Court continues, why has Mathew's phone been ringing off the hook?
And so I picked up the phone
And went through it.
And I went through it, and there's pictures where he had sent pictures of his private parts to women.
Oh, man.
Mr. Hedrington, were you taking pictures of your situation and sending them to other women?
Well,
Have you been cohabitating for years and find that splitting up is as complicated as a divorce? Call toll-free at 1-877-311-2222 or visit our website at divorcecourt.com or become a fan at facebook.com/divorcecourt.
Divorce Court is back with the case of Mathew Hedrington, who claims he still wants to sweep Mwanisha off of her feet. But has Mathew been preparing for a romantic rendezvous for two or an escape for one?
He would ride around with a luggage bag of clothes, not only a bag of clothes,
Because
but
I'm
he would
scared.
he would ride around with towels and bath racks and condoms in his trunk as well.
Why don't you tell me about his sex addiction, because you accuse him of having one?
Yes, I do, Your Honor. He constantly walks around with his cell phone hid in his pocket. When he goes to the bathroom, his phone goes to the bathroom. So one night I come home and his phone was lit up and I didn't touch it. Normally I would just pick it up on the site and go through it. But I didn't even...
Well, that's why he takes it to the bathroom with him, by the way, but go ahead.
I walked off and I went and took a shower and I came back in the room and he was still knocked out. Didn't even know I had walked in the house. And the phone was still lit up. So things were saying Nisha, pick that phone up and go through it. And so I picked up the phone.
And went through it.
And I went through it and there's pictures where he had sent pictures of his private parts to women.
Oh, man.
Mr. Hedrington, were you taking pictures of your situation and sending them to other women?
Well, no, they just in my phone and.
Whoa,
They were sent
they
to
just in your
another
phone.
woman.
Wait a minute, wait a minute.
They were
Do
sent
you
to another
carry
woman.
around pictures of your private parts just in case you might need them?
No, they just in. No, they are on my email.
He sent
But
them to
why?
another woman.
But why?
I had nothing to say about that, Judge. Nothing to say. Nothing at all.
You're 39 years old.
Yeah.
You in the house taking pictures of it and keeping it in your phone because you might need it. You scare me, Mr. Hedrington. You really do.
I'm sorry, Judge.
Mr. Hedrington, I looked at the compatibility test that you printed out, and I read the information on you, and I wrote down the words, he doesn't seem to have an understanding of what's going on. And you come out here today, and I truly believe you don't have a clue. You printed out the compatibility test,
Right.
correct?
Right. I just want to see, you know.
And I said, list 5 things that are wrong with you. And you listed, I cheat a lot. I used to cheat a lot. And that was it. You didn't take it seriously. This was a test that you asked for. You didn't take it seriously. You had a whole lot of problems with her, but none with you. Now, she had things that she didn't like about you.
I know she did.
He says you cheat, you're not respectful, you are child-minded.
He would ride around with a luggage bag of clothes in his car, not only a bag of clothes,
Because
but
I'm
he
scared.
would ride around with towels and bath racks and condoms in his trunk as well.
Just in case he has to make a quick getaway? I mean, what?
With condoms?
What?
With condoms, Your Honor? And then whenever I asked him about the condoms, he tell me they was already in the car. Do you know how old those things are? But the packet, they look new, brand new.
What's with all the gear?
I am so scared to stay there because she be locking me out the house. I don't even have the key to my own house.
He right. He don't.
I changed the locks. I changed my car for a whole week.
I changed the lock because this man will tell me that he's going to visit his mom, and whenever he states that he's going to visit his mom, he's up in hotel rooms with different women. It's been on several occasions where I have seen the receipts from hotels that he have left in his pockets. I'm the one who was washing his clothes, keeping his clothes clean.
When divorce court continues, has Mwanisha overstepped her boundaries at Mathew's job as a referee?
I made a point to him by putting myself off on him. I told him, I said, me and my kids are going to go to this game.
This is a job for me. You know, it's like a little side job, but it's a job.
If you would like your case heard on divorce court, call us toll-free at 1-877-311-2222 or log on to our website at divorcecourt.com and follow us on Twitter @divorcecourt. Divorce Court returns with the case of Mwanisha Reynolds, who asserts her fiancé Mathew is not to be trusted. But is Mwanisha still holding out hope that Mathew will come around?
Whenever I'm with a person, I commit to that person. I give all my full devotion to this man.
Have you ever been faithful to her?
When I started living in the house with her, the second time, yes, Your Honor, yes.
So how long have you been faithful to her?
Ever since Christmas.
Do you know why she doesn't want to marry you on Friday?
Right. You know,
tell me why she doesn't want to marry you on Friday.
Because I'm a cheat. She just, you know,
You don't care about her, Mr. Hedrington. That's what it... No. I don't think you have a clue as to what is wrong because you only have a clue as to what you want, and you have no idea how hurt and destroyed this woman is. That's what I think is going on. You say you also feel unloved because he doesn't allow you to go to his games with him, the ones that he referees.
I always ask him, why you don't never take us to the game where we're going to the game? This is my job. I don't have time to be taking other people to my job. If you're working, you wouldn't allow me to come to your job. First of all, we're sitting in the stands like everybody else. It's not like he's having to come up out of any money.
Yeah.
Because
are you ashamed of her?
Oh, I'm not ashamed of her. It's just like, you know, because this is a job for me. You know, it's like a little side job, but it's a job. You know,
so... Well, how does it hurt her being in the stands?
It don't.
It might hurt your Mac a little bit with the other women, but how does it hurt being with her being in the stands?
Your Honor, this man, I've made a point of him knowing that how serious I was. I made a point to him by putting myself off on him. I told him, I said, me and my kids are going to go to this game. Well, whenever we get there, he does his 2 games. Whenever it's time for him to come off the court and another official to go in his place, Mathew comes and sit down where I'm sitting. But instead of him sitting down beside me like I belong to him, Mathew sits on a bench in front of me, but away from me.
Ms. Reynolds, let me ask you this. You had planned to marry him in a couple of days.
Yes, I did.
What led you to believe that might work out, and what made you finally decide, I gotta cancel my wedding and go to divorce court instead?
Whenever I'm with a person, I commit to that person. I give all my full devotion to this man. I gave him all of my time, and with this man, he was never there, never there. And whenever I tried to get him to see where I was coming from as a person and not being loved, it was like whatever. It was like it was going in one ear and out the other. And the reason I called it off was because every time he turned around, his cell phone was going off, and it was a different woman. It just wasn't one woman. It was different females.
When divorce court continues, Mathew pours his heart out, or does he?
I know that I've been messing up a lot. You know, if you take me back, I will do all I can to please you.
Did you hear that, Ms. Reynolds? Don't you believe it?
Divorce court returns with the case of Mwanisha Reynolds, who called off her wedding to Mathew Hedrington 3 days before the wedding and is now seeking a dissolution of cohabitation.
Mr. Hedrington, you told this court that you wanted to marry this woman in 3 days. She is dissolving in front of you. You have a moment in time to show who you are, how you feel about her. Take it.
Nisha, I'm very sorry. I know that I have been messing up a lot. You know, if you take me back, I will do all I can to please you, love you, and unconditionally love you. Because I want to see our son grow up with a mom and dad. Not like me. I only had my mom. So if you take me back, I will really love to show you that I could be a family man.
Did you hear that, Ms. Reynolds? Don't you believe it? I would believe the part about the son. I really do. I believe that he wants to be a good father, and I believe he wants to have a family, and I honor you for that. I really do, but the rest of it's just a lie. He doesn't really care for you. He doesn't know how to care for you. He does what he wants, when he wants. He enjoys the attention of other women because you're the steady Freddy in the equation. He's living his life all over here. You holding it down over there. You've got his kid, but he's really not committed to you. And you love him, and you have to move forward. Just because you love somebody doesn't mean you need to be with them. Am I wrong? Did I miss it?
No, Your Honor, you didn't miss it.
Whoa. That's that. You want $500 from this man. Don't go back to him. Please, I don't care what he does. I don't know when he calls. Let him see his kid. Let him be a father. Don't speak badly about him in front of your child, but please, 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 he doesn't have the capacity to love you. Tell me about this $500 that you're seeking from Mr. Hedrington.
Between 2008, 2009, roughly in 2009, he didn't have a cell phone. His cell phone was turned off. And he asked me if I would get him a cell phone on my line. And so I got him a line on mine, and what I did was I split the bill up to where his bill would be coming to his address at that time, and mine would be coming to my address. And he ran his bill up, and he never paid his part. In order for me to get my own phone, because I currently have a phone with him,
right? I
have to pay that phone off before.
Do you have any information, any evidence, any bills, anything to show
I don't
me?
Have it with
Mr. Hedrington, is she accurate when she says to me?
It's almost 500. It's like 401.
401?
But, you know, now, you know what I'm saying?
But she can't get her phone till she gets that paid off.
Well, she can have my phone. Well, she can give my phone back to me.
Oh, no, what she can do is get $401, which she will, because I'm awarding it. Mr. Hedrington, do the right thing. You're not a man who wants to settle down. Don't have any more kids because you don't want him to be a guy without a father. Don't lie to women. Don't keep multiple women. Tell them the truth about who you are and what you want and what you need and what you're doing. There's no need to hurt them. You'll still get women anyway. They'll put up with that. But don't hurt a good woman. Don't hurt another good woman. It's not right.
That's all I ask.
It's not right. Stay up with your son, but don't try to get back with her. You've hurt her enough. $401 in favor of Ms. Reynolds. It is so ordered.
All rise. Parties may leave the courtroom.
Mwanisha says that when they returned home, Mathew pretended he wanted to work things out, but that was because he didn't want to pay child support. She contends that in fact he did not hear anything the judge said and went back to his old ways. Mwanisha says Mathew is moving out by the end of the month, and she now is focusing on her children and herself. Mathew says that now that they no longer will live together, he'll see his son whenever he gets a chance.